Plenty of good footy happening and lots going on the Footy Show. Beck, what have we got?
Well, it's a little bit about you tonight, Jim. No one can say you don't pay your debts. You finally went to Dot and K's house. You slept over. There you are in your gym jam. We have all the highlights of the slumber party for you. Looking forward to that, Jim.
What about this man, the cult figure from Melbourne and flying Big Maxi Gorman's on the Footy Show?
Damien Barrett also joins us a little later on the show. He's got a very big story for you. He knows what's going on in the world of footy.
Been fantastic this year. The Footy Show Stakes is coming up later on.
And, of course, it wouldn't be the Footy Show without the Foss, the What the Foss segment. Make sure you stay up for that one.
Nice. All of that's nice. Time to introduce you to the panel, and we start with a three-time premiership superstar from Geelong, Norm Smith medalist, of course, now playing magnificent football for GWS. Stevie Johnson's here on the Footy Show. To see you three. Looking forward to chatting to every single one of you, but need to get the man out. 303 games, of course, for Geelong. Plenty of for Victoria as well. The superstar of this show, make no mistake. Make him welcome, John Sammy Newman. Subdued sort of walk on.
I'm sorry about this. You two might have to do the heavy lifting tonight because I'm a bit. I'm down. I'll be honest. I'm down. I've been the target this week.
You've been the target.
I've been the target of an egregious, politically incorrect slur, an ageist slur.
Ageist.
That I'm old and therefore not capable of... Now, just a minute. No, I am offended at being accused of being ageist or aged or old. And I say this as a result of, and on behalf of the thousands of other people who are my age and over, who are in the workforce, earning a living, paying tax.
Yes.
Why would this be funny? Earning not a blight on society, not receiving benefits or entitlements, out there actually, and I take offence at being branded aged or an ageist slur on me.
Well, but hang on a minute. We call you Foss on this show. Like, that's how we refer to you every sort of show. Yeah,
but you're in the room with me, and there's warmth. There is warmth. There's warmth in your eyes when you do it.
Really?
You don't do it carping behind my back. And I was compared to a Neanderthal man. This is a Neanderthal man. And this is me.
Yes.
This is me.
Look at him.
Would you say I look like a Neanderthal man? Don't say I do, because I don't.
Yes.
And I have never resorted to using images of the person I disagree with. Mind you, I'd have plenty of scope if I did. But I have not resorted to, I have not resorted to that. And finally, I am thinking of running for Lord Mayor. That's taken a nice kick in the guts. That's since people said I'm too old or insinuating that I'm too old to do it. Don't laugh. This is not whether you are not offended. It's about me. I'm offended. And finally, Lee Matthews, the great legend of our game, disagreed with something that was said, or had what he said was disagreed with by a certain person. How many times in a day or a week could you disagree with what someone says? And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. It's becoming tiresome. This stuff about, I want an apology for being accused of being old, ageist and a Neanderthal, and I demand it.
All right. We'll see if it comes your way. I tell you who... You might be waiting a little while for that, Foxy. You might be waiting a little while for that apology. But anyway, moving...
If you, I don't know why...
Why is it taking a week?
It's a very good point.
Anyway. Enough talk about Neanderthals.
Someone pointed out that I was called that, and I thought, no, I'm taking umbrage at that 5 days.
We will move on.
We will indeed, because someone who's not a Neanderthal is playing footy like an absolute spring chicken. He's in top form. His team's in top form. Please put your hands together for Stevie J. Tonight, because you guys are absolutely flying, but you sort of got backstage and you're a little bit flat about being here tonight. What's that about?
Well, Beck, I had a fishing trip organised, and I didn't realise I made a commitment to the show that I'd be here about 3 or 4 weeks ago. So, no, it's great to see you again, but
you'd rather be
I'd
fishing.
much rather be out fishing tomorrow night.
But, Steve, life is about making sacrifices, isn't it? And look, we really appreciate what a great effort, that Steve-O has been here tonight.
It makes me feel a lot better.
All right, well, maybe a bit of flattery will put you in a good mood, because you are playing sensational form. Your kicking has been absolutely unbelievable. I didn't think it could get any better from Cardinia Park to where you are playing now. I mean, you're turning Spotless into Cardinia Park almost, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't know if that's right, but yeah, I'm enjoying my footy.
Happy with that?
I was happy with that one, Bill, and not a great celebration, I must admit. But yeah, the Giants are obviously in good form, and it's good to play some reasonable footy and play my role. And you know, it's also good to have a freshen up this week, and hopefully the second half of the season can continue the way it has started so far.
Play your role.
Yeah,
playing my role. That's all it's about.
Well, we
One
actually
week at a time.
we got something here. How you play your role. Have a look at your hair. You love kicking a goal. Look, you know it's going to be a free kick. It's out in the full. Look at you go, old Speedy Gonzalez. You're probably the third bloke that should have got that, and you get a free kick.
Yeah, that's smart footy, Bill. That's how you get your stats up, just from kicking maybe 2 or 3 goals to 4 or 5. So that's Ford craft. It's something you can't teach.
Steve, you're obviously a little bit apprehensive about going to a new club, and we understand the circumstances as to how that happened. But I've got to say, watching that game on the weekend, you are in such a great mood on the field. That last half, you smiled about 25 times. You're smiling and laughing all throughout the match. Are you really enjoying yourself?
Plenty of teeth.
Well, I was. I mean, at that stage of the game, we were up by a little bit, and there was a bit of banter going on between myself and the Carlton boys, and some of it was quite funny. So I had to have a laugh.
Having a laugh.
Well, why don't you
Get a room.
Grab a room after the show.
Well, we haven't seen each other for a while. We're just catching up.
It would make me sick. Mate, you wouldn't be getting ahead of yourself. Jeez, don't turn in a couple of bad games, or we'll stick the boots in nicely, mate.
Yeah, OK. I'll keep the form up, Sammy.
I want to ask you about the sledging, because you've always been one of the better exponents of it, Stevie. But when you played for Geelong against GWS the first time, I think you copped a fair kicking from a few of the young blokes who are now your teammates. How's that all gone?
Yeah, they were quite chirpy in the early years, and they probably didn't have too many reasons to be, but I think they were just enjoying being out on the field against some players that maybe they grew up watching. But I haven't noticed too much of it from those boys, you know, this season playing with them, but they're a great bunch of blokes, and yeah, I've tamed it down a little bit, but I do enjoy the occasional bit of banter.
Yeah, you do indeed, and Armour, I think you were on the end of some of Steve-O's banter.
I did, mate. I actually had to sell my car that I had.
Oh.
I was so upset by Stevie's comments. So I had a Porsche and...
A Nissan Porsche, yeah?
He, what? Sorry, a Nissan Porsche.
Yeah.
And he said, when am I picking him up to go for a spin in the Porsche?
Out in the ground, he said.
Out in the ground, he said this, and yeah, it sort of got me thinking, what's he on about? How did he know that? So I've sold the Porsche now and bought a Jeep.
And this and G.
Yes, and G.
Yeah.
Hey, we did like this, Bill, too. An article up there in Sydney, and this is penned by Stevie himself. And this is a couple of the young blokes at GWS just asking Stevie what it's like to become a household name.
Oh, no.
That's it. Get on the right track with your footy and achieve the things you want to achieve. The boys at the Giants have never really experienced much external attention.
No.
I found myself answering questions like, what was it like to be recognised all the time?
No, Steve.
That's been
Choppers.
taken out of context.
Come on.
Please
quoted.
explain
I wrote
that.
the article and the
Explain
editor's
that.
obviously taken that, put that to print without,
He's
getting...
cut and pasted it,
Yeah.
mate. He's
Yeah, I think he
taken
might.
words from one sentence and put them in the back of another.
It's a very good
household
paper,
name.
The Age, and
Oh.
my article's in every 3 weeks. So.
That's it.
Oh, Pepsi or... What, the household name here?
That's
Thinks
it.
he's one of them.
Pepsi.
Fly under the radar up there. Now, David Armitage, by the way, is here, everybody. Take a bit of a look at the impressive Saints on the weekend against the Cats. It was amazing. So, the ball movement especially was what impressed me. And just to wheel and go and get it in there quick and give your
that
forwards
kid?
every
And
chance.
Who's that kid that
was,
kicked that?
that was a fair goal. That's Gresham, Jade Gresham. He's an absolute star. There's Jackie Stevens, who pretty much got us over the line when they started coming late. But you're right, Jim. You know, we went into this game knowing that we wanted to get a scalp in the top 8 because we hadn't done that. We'd sort of beaten teams around us or below us. So it was a really big focus. But, yeah, and we got the job done. But and we knew that the games that they had lost was through putting on enormous pressure. So that's what we did, and we were able to get the chockies. Yeah.
It was a sensational game. Talking about that focus, I want to ask you about how much focus was put on Selwood and Danger during the week and how you would tackle that.
Yeah, we actually had a meeting as a midfield, as you do every week, Stevie, and we sort of were wondering how to tackle either one or both, but then we came to the conclusion that, you know, they're both just as damaging, and if we sit on them, then the other midfielders will get off the chain. So they're very dominant midfield. So we just had a team effort, and like I said, once they got the ball, we just didn't want them streaming out the front of stoppage. So we just put massive pressure on.
You told me backstage you were happy to go head-to-head with Danger.
Yeah, no, I was, but then the coaches saw right through that because clearly I'm slow and he's quick.
So you said you knew that Geelong were no good under pressure. As is generally known in the industry, is it? That
No, they're not.
That's what you said,
No.
that you knew Geelong were no good under pressure. You just
They
said
can, like any team, they're susceptible to pressure, so we knew we had to bring that, which we did. And
not-
like any other side, if you bring your pressure, then you'll probably beat most sides.
Good word, huh?
Yeah, nice. I like that, Army. You got it out beautifully.
Don't know where that
Hey,
come from.
Also got back to us that the Saints, you and Sam Fisher especially, have filthied right up because Hawthorn took on the golf challenge about 3 weeks after you set the benchmark and smashed it to bits, fair to say. I think they came in about 10, 12 seconds under.
Yeah, well, you've been playing a bit of golf, haven't you, Sam?
I've been playing a lot, David. Why do you ask?
Well, I was wondering because you really fried our golf game when we had the challenge. So I'm just wondering what you did better this time.
Before we get your response, Force, just to remind people, this is what happened.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm not f***ing doing that, mate. That's Jesus, that's weak. Hey!
Look at him. He's throwing his arms around.
Jenny Danger! You how weak is that?
He's still filthy. He is headless.
Put that f***ing thing down.
Force!
It's a team game.
It's a team game.
Oh, Frankie.
Well,
Good sportsmanship.
no, it wasn't a good shot of play. Why would we have to show all that stuff, mate? That was off camera.
Not only was the shot...
Why would we be showing that? I hit an 8-iron badly on a par 5, and yet the next week we did it, I hit a 3-metal onto the green.
Yeah, but Armour and the Saints boys have filthied up because you cost them any chance of the world record with your petulant behaviour.
No, it was my bad shot. The petulant behaviour came after the bad shot.
Hey,
and now, just
yes.
1 minute. Vanity seems to have consumed you, David. You've had surgery, apparently, of the plastic nature.
Oh.
Have you not?
Well,
Hello?
I don't know. You'd know more
Well,
about that than me.
well, this is what's known as a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
You have had plastic surgery, have you not?
Yes, I have. Sam.
Why have you, and where have you had it?
Well, I had my ear ripped in half when I was in under-18s and my earlobe was down here, so therefore I needed plastic surgery on it. But I played the next week, so
Yeah.
that was fine.
Mate, I was up and about after mine. I've been...
Yeah, I know, you still are.
Hey? Yeah, up
You
and
are.
about, yeah. What, do you think you'll go on with it when you retire?
I think so.
Yeah, what'll you have done, mate? What
Similar
do you
to
think?
you.
What
Nip and
what
the tuck
sort
and
of
the folds
plastic
and the-
surgery would enhance... What?
Nip and tuck.
Nip and tuck and the folds and everything. Oh, I'll get some tips off you after.
I think we've got some... got you covered, Force.
Anyhow,
Some vision.
I thought you might have got it like this bloke in the English Premier League got it.
Oh, oh, no. Oh, that's what happened, huh?
Very similar.
All right, Willis, why don't you get us underway with the big footy?
Big game this one Sunday night at the SCG. It's Sydney taking on the Western Bulldogs. And we're two best defensive sides here in 2016. And the Sydney Swans have won their last 10 at the SCG. Very hard to beat at the SCG. Take on the mighty Doggies, who had the bye last week. And there they go there. They've lost 6 of the last 7 against the Swans. But named in the squad, Will Minson, Easton Wood, who you'd think would play, and Johannesen is also named in the squad there, but I think he's going to play in the VFL. Very good game this, but at the SCG, I think Sydney for me. Armour?
Yeah, like I said before, whoever brings the pressure, and I think it'll be a very high-pressure game, will win. But I think Sydney, just because it's at home.
Yeah, I've got a feeling Buddy might kick a bag this week and he'll get the Swans over the line in a close game.
As I've leapt ahead of Bill in the tipping since I started taking seriously. He does all the stats and I just pick
Well,
the
let's
ones
have a look, Foss. Hang on. Allowed to call you Foss? Oh, yeah, it is. Foss?
I'm leading them up.
No, you're
No,
behind.
one behind.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, that's what the graph said.
That's what the graph said.
Graphs are always right.
Are they big?
Yep, they are.
Well,
Walking
I
dead.
would be going for the Swans up
Swans.
there, yeah, I
Yeah, can't go past the Swannies at home. Be a great match this one, I reckon. Great match.
Hey, it's a spotless stadium. You love it up there. And a couple of weeks ago, at three-quarter time this happened. A very happy man against the Swans. You're playing the Swans, and this gentleman kicked it into the tyres. Bang! And won a lot of money.
That was awesome.
Won 100 grand.
$100,000.
Yeah.
And that was at three-quarter time, Steve-O. Is it true that you and Heath Shaw, during the three-quarter time break from Leon Cameron, were watching that gentleman, and when he kicked it in, you've gone, yes, he's done it!
Well, yeah, that did happen. There was a big countdown clock on the big scoreboard, so I seen it was down to about 5 seconds. I actually had a little bit of a feeling that he might put it in, even though it's probably 1,000 to 1 to actually get it in the tyres. But Leon was just about to address us and give us a motivational speech at three-quarter time, and I looked around and it just looked good the whole way. And when it went in, I said, he's kicked it. And Leon looked at me and sort of tried not to laugh and then went on with it, but it was, it was quite amusing.
How did he take to it, Leon, the senior coach?
I think he had a joke about it after the game because we went on and won, but I'd hate to have seen what he might have said if they ran over the
That's
top of
the
us.
sort of concentration he'd be after. Senior coach, wouldn't it? Man taking no notice of him at all.
He was only just starting. And I was already very motivated by the pre-game speech that he gave us.
That was still lingering, was it? Yeah, very much. So, all right, we have a huge footy show for you tonight. Make sure you don't go anywhere. We'll see you on the other side of the break.
Tonight on the Footy Show, the grooviest guru in football, Big Maxi Gord, is here to tell it all from the mountaintops of Melbourne. You'll be absolutely mesmerised. JB finally pays his debt and heads to the home of North fanatics Kay and Dot for a sleepover. Oh, what a night. You'll hear all the very latest in footy direct from the news headquarters of Damien Barrett. Now that's hard-hitting. Ouch! We'll chat through the ins and the outs of the oldest grudge match in footy, the Pies and the Blues. There's Swanee, still stuck on the pine. And the horses are just leaving the mounting yard now. The Footy Show Stakes is only moments away. Tonight on the Footy Show.
Footy Show Stakes. Heavy track today, and the car park is closed, folks. The Carlton Monaro's going nowhere. North Melbourne making the most of the situation, though. Racing, out first is British PM David Cameron on Brexit stage left. Following him, the Royal Family, and following them, Gordon Ramsay. Dangerfield in trouble now with the stewards. Geary may have interfered with his legs, though. Not sure. Stevie J continues to look ominous on target high. And here comes Rank Outsider, the Collingwood Party Bus. On his heels, Travis Slocum, the Collingwood Party Tricycle. Oh, and the Collingwood Army are going crazy. Into the back straight, Chris Scott, who famously beat Black Caviar, now can't even beat this young lass from the Heathmont Pony Club. Finishing line inside, it's Dustin Martin, it's Ben Reid, it's what's her name? It's not the entire English soccer team, but holding a famous victory. It's the St Kilda Party Crowd. Hallelujah! And Travis Cloak coming a close second.
Excellent footy show, State hitting all the big issues of the week. Now, you don't want to go anywhere because we have the big Maxie Gawn joining us on the footy show very shortly. And something that I've really been looking forward to all night, and it's James paying his debt, and he does go and sleep at Kay and Dot's house. So we have all the highlights of the slumber party coming very soon. I know you're looking forward to that, Jim Bob. Now, gentlemen, burning question this week is about the mid-season trade. I know two of our panellists over there had pretty strong opinions on this. Armour, you said this, and I read, yeah, I'm definitely for it. I'm like a ruckman to be tapping it down to me all the time. So if you do get depleted in that department, it would be great to restock. Permanent trades would be the way to go too. On the other side of the coin, Stevie J, ridiculous idea, exclamation mark. A solid list management strategy is one of the only competitive advantages a club can get these days.
Righto,
A bit of fire there between you two.
Fighting words. What we decided to do is give two of you 30 seconds each to state your case as to whether there should be a mid-season draft. Bill, you've got the siren, I've got the clock here, 30 seconds.
Who's
you
going
boys
first?
have prepared something. Armour's first.
Well, I'll go.
Come on up.
I'll go.
Armour,
You go first.
you got 30 seconds. Get your best stuff out.
You ready?
All right, go.
How's your ear?
Jesus. Well, I've got an example. So take Port Adelaide, for example. You've got Lobie and Ryder that are out. Therefore, no ruckman, like I said there. So wouldn't it be nice to either go to the Samful or whatever, any of the other interstate leagues and pluck a ruckman out, or you could go use like a Will Minson or a Ivan Maric from another club. That's all I'm thinking. So that's my argument.
So you've taken 24 seconds and that's the end of your argument.
Well done.
That's all I've got.
Right.
That's a good example.
I'm hitting the old reset here. Ross. Righto, Stevie, I suspect will take longer.
It wasn't
than
a strong
the
one.
required time. Here we go.
Well, firstly, David, it's not a draft, it's a trade. I'm all for someone getting picked up from the SANFL, but like I said, I think a good quality list management strategy is very important. It's one competitive advantage the club can have over its opposition at this point in time. I don't think because a club hasn't developed a ruckman that if they have a ruckman get injured, they should be compensated for poor strategy. So there's already enough movement in the AFL these days. I'd like players to remain loyal and stay at least until the end of the year.
All right, here we are.
Very good points from the both of them.
Okay.
Good points.
Oh, not really. How did you think you went, Armour?
I actually tend to agree with Steve.
I was trying to support you, Armour.
Pretty good case there.
Stevie just repeated what he'd already said.
Yeah.
So really, I think they were 30 underwhelming seconds from both of you. How did you see it going forward?
One more interested. How did it come about? On what was it on in the first place?
Well, I think the AFL are just
No,
throwing
what
around
was it
whether
on?
they
How
do
did we know that they said that? Was that on Facebook or something?
I think it was
Stevie
on the
tweeted it.
Twitter.
Yep.
It was on the Twitter.
Ridiculous social media.
That's how people communicate these days, Fossey.
Oh, that's the problem. That is exactly
there
the
are
problem.
problems with it.
While you're
I'll give you that.
dragging us back to the 70s force, let's welcome this man who is the best newsbreaker in
Neanderthal.
footy. Damien Barrett is here, everybody. Now, a big big captain in the league's future is being discussed.
Yeah, it is, Jim. It's revolving around Tom Rockcliffe, and his situation at the Brisbane Lions gets more intriguing by the day. On the back of the news that he has personally taken off the table all contract talks with the Brisbane Lions, we can tell you that there are Victorian clubs now interested in what he's doing as early as next year, and one of those clubs is St Kilda. The Saints had their eye on him anyway from a 2017 perspective, which was when his initial contract, his current contract, does expire. But we do know that they have now ramped up that looking at him and will now consider actually adding him if they possibly can and if the planets align to their list at the end of this year. It's a situation they're also looking at in terms of Jager O'Meara, who is different to Rockcliffe. He is out of contract next year. The Lions are aware of the other club's interest in their captain, and to this point anyway, they are not budging on his demands of a 5-year, $4 million deal. That's what he wants, and that's the deal that he took off the table himself. Rockcliffe wouldn't comment on any of this today when we did contact him about it. He's referred us to his manager, Tom Petroro, and both Tom Petroro and the Brisbane Lions CEO, Greg Swan, have said that Rockcliffe's future would be addressed at the end of the season, and that has been agreed to by Rockcliffe himself, who again took those talks off the table himself.
Damo, that's a pretty considerate move, a captain of a club considering moving somewhere else. It's not... It hasn't happened before. I mean, it has happened before, but it's not...
Look, it's obviously everything is up in the air at the moment. I mean, he himself took the talks away. He tried to get an extension of a deal. He wanted the $4 million 5-year deal, already locked away for next year. And that's what will be the party line from all parties, that he is contracted and as such, it's not for negotiation. But can tell you the Saints are now aware of this current development in this situation and that they will look at him from as early as this year if they possibly can. It has happened. I mean, Chris Judd did leave West Coast. Ryan Griffin left the Western Bulldogs. Again, the party lines on this will maintain as they are, that he is contracted, but the situation has changed dramatically in the last couple of weeks on this, Jim.
Coaches meeting during the week at Gil McLaughlin's, an annual event?
It was, and to use the AFL vernacular, robust and lively conversation came from Alistair Clarkson, Jim, and that will surprise no one, I think, who hears that. He did lead the debate on a lot of topics. One of the conversations that he did get most vocal in, I believe, was around the integrity within the fixturing, and particularly in this period of bye matches that we've got. Last weekend just gone, there were 6 teams playing a match of footy having had the bye against teams which had not had the bye. And that was not just an Alistair Clarkson-driven conversation, it was other coaches as well. There was also concern raised about the bye in round 23 from a perspective of the teams that ultimately win the qualifying finals will then go into a preliminary final having played only once in 3 weeks. Yep. And that wasn't an issue driven by Alistair Clarkson, but it is obviously one that that does concern him. We know, Jim, that it's been another sad week for the former West Coast Eagles captain, Ben Cousins. He won't be attending the functions that will revolve around the 10-year, the marking of the 10-year anniversary of the Eagles premiership back in 2006. But there will be a surprise attendee to at least part of the celebrations that are going on tomorrow and Friday. And that will be that Daniel Chick will be in attendance at Domain Stadium tomorrow when the premiership players are presented to the crowd before the Bombers and Eagles match. And that is a significant turnaround for Chick, who does have several unresolved issues with the Eagles. I don't expect him to be going to other parts of the celebrations over the next 2 days, but he has confirmed to us tonight that he will be at the venue tomorrow when the team is presented. And just before I go, class Western Bulldogs forward Tory Dixon has been locked away for a further 2 years, and that comes as the Bulldogs do desperately try to squeeze in their most wanted players amidst the Tom Boyd mega deal. We know that Boyd is receiving up to more than $1.5 million on 2016 alone. That figure is similar again next year, Jim, and it will be gradually reduced throughout the duration of that contract. But it leaves Tom Campbell and Kobe Stevens as others who are out of contract with the Bulldogs and needing to be squeezed in amongst that Boyd mega deal.
All right, you hear it first from Damien Barrett. Thank you very much, Damo.
Well done, Damo. Yeah, some big news there from Damo. But I've got bigger news, and I got it off Beck's Instagram. Now, we've got a photo here of your husband, Trent. Now, this is Trent. It is 4 degrees last week, and he goes surfing, Beck. Yep. What's going on there?
Anything for some peace and quiet, probably, Will, from me.
To get away from you. But we've also exclusively here at the Footy Show, I've got vision of him surfing. Here he is. Here he's had a couple of frothies. Look at Trent. Oh, come on, Beck. What is
Trent? Not me.
That's Trent. He's had a couple of frothies. What's going on, Beck?
Oh, that's embarrassing. Where'd you get that from?
Not as embarrassing as a couple of other surfing photos we managed to latch onto. Firstly, the old boy back in the day.
The fox.
Down at Winky Pop. Have a look at the wetsuit. That's like something out of Thunderball. What's that thing hanging out of the back of your ass?
That used to You used to strap that under. It was like a water skiing wetsuit, so that if you fell off, the water didn't go up your oar.
What happened to it there?
Well, they didn't have wetsuits in those days. It was just sort of makeshift
What,
things.
so you're saying that wasn't Winky Pop?
No, it might have been... Actually, I think that might have been Bells.
Bells? Yeah, on a big day?
No,
Hey,
shore break.
speaking of panellists and surfing, we also a very rare bit of vision of Bill.
Oh, Bill.
Oh, look at him.
When was that? Last year.
Just in the budgie smugglers bit.
Yep. Hard to get off.
And a hot day too. You had a nice bit of protection on the mush.
At the Hawaii, that was. Jeez,
Was it?
A goofy foot.
The pipeline. Goofy foot.
All right, let's leave the surfing alone for a little while. Let's get into some footy because Saturday night at the MCG it is Carlton up against the Magpies. Let's have a look at the Carlton squad. Obviously on this squad because it's Wednesday.
Silvani.
Are they going to unleash Jack Silvani? That is the big question. Will he make his debut this weekend? Everyone's keeping a very close eye on that. Let's have a look over at Collingwood. The big question there. Darcy Moore might be coming back from that injury. Will Travis Cloak have to make way for him? Travie kicked 2 goals last week, so he played an all-right game. So has he done enough to keep his spot? Bill, how do you reckon this will pan out? Carlton and Collingwood.
Very interesting game at the G, of course. I think Carlton might win this one. And beat Collingwood twice in the 1 year.
You reckon, Bill?
Yes.
Well, it's a big game,
like,
obviously.
David?
Well, I think Collingwood will be too tall for him up forward. I don't know if they'll be able to match up on him. So
What happens if it rains?
well, we'll get to that when it happens.
Righto.
But yeah, I think Collingwood.
Stevie?
Yeah, I think if Travie plays, that'll be a good chance. And yeah, I'm tipping the Pies.
Bill, it doesn't matter if it rains, they'll still be too tall for them.
That's true.
You don't lose your height if it rains.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that.
But the ball hits the ground a lot more if it rains.
Oh, really, Bill?
Yeah.
Not if you're adept in the wet, it doesn't.
Get back in your cave.
Both the...
That's the tip.
Both these sides have beaten Geelong. I was going to say I would... Geelong are the most unreliable side in the competition. Both these sides have beaten Geelong. But I think this is where I'll sneak ahead of you, Bill. I think I've picked 2 before you've even started. I think Collingwood will win.
I'm only going Collingwood because I think there's lots of pies in the audience tonight, so I'm just getting on your good side. Pies for me.
We spoke earlier tonight about the fact that Stevie was a little filthy that he had to come on contractually to the footy show tonight because he'd actually booked a fishing trip and was unable to go with a mate. They'd booked the boat and the whole thing. We have heard, or I've just heard in my ear, that a viewer, a man who loves our show, in fact, has heard about the fact that Stevie's upset due to the fact that he hasn't been able to go on his fishing trip and he's decided to come in and offer an alternative. So this viewer's, I think, ready to join us. Where is the man, by the way?
Oh,
there he is!
Oh, it's real.
How are you, Rex?
Do you have an easier question, Sam? I'm usually getting up from my first twinkle now, I can tell you now. And I just have to clear something up because 20 years ago when you were at 3AW with me and the footy show started, I was you had an official hairdresser, official high and mighty suit man, and I was your official fish supplier.
Yes.
And have still done it.
Yep, absolutely.
Do you mind if I just present Stevie with one of the most magnificent Port Phillip Bay snapper that was swimming near the Brighton bars tonight as the sun went down?
Did you? And you caught it on with pippies and a Geronimo rod or some bullshit?
No, I caught it on a half a pilchard in my 23-foot Haynes Hunter, as true as I'm riding this bike. Okay, it's as simple as that. Now, Stevie, I really miss you at Geelong because Stevie J on the half forward, flank over to Little Gazza. Yeah,
The man who put the E into football entertainment. You are a bloody superstar.
Oh, I don't know about that, James, but the thing about it is that...
You don't know about that.
No, I don't know. The last time I saw a mouth like that, it had a hook sticking out.
That's it. There it is.
So, Stevie, I know that you're going to fish in Sydney. They've got snapper in Sydney, but if you don't get down near the Sydney Harbour Bridge and get onto those John Dory with a little turn-down ice sprout hook, and just near the benthos of the bottom of the bay, there'll be some magnificent fish for you. So, give him a little bit of a kick.
You are a superstar. There's never been any doubt about that. Is that how you present these days of a night, just with the waiters? And
Well, there's not much going on down in Beaumont, I'll tell you, but every now and again, Lynn and I decide to just fire it up, and
Yeah, I love it.
I've got to get some different pills because every time I swallow them, I get a stiff neck. And the doctor said I'm not swallowing them quick enough. How about that?
stuff out. Hey, Rexy, for years and years and years, you've dominated television in this country. You've thrown to more breaks than we've had hot dinners. So we've got Max Gawn coming on next. I'd like you to look down the barrel. The great, here we are over here, camera number 1. Get us to a break on the Footy Show with Maxie Gawn coming up next.
I've been treated at Channel 9 better than I ever was at Channel Rex for 15 years, and have we got a treat for you out of the break? Because yibbity yibbiter, I thought he was gone, but he's after the break, he's here. Max Gawn!
In 52 games, this bloke may well be in my top 2 or 3 favourite players. Not only has he proven in that time to be an unbelievably good player, but he is a character of our game, and we don't have enough of them in 2016. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Melbourne Football Club. Maxie Gawn's in the house. Sit down, Big Maxie. This is fair to say this show has been waiting for you because your legend has grown now to a point where you're prepared to come on. Is that fact?
Yeah, so my Footy Show debut,
Yes.
52 games on, and I finally get the call up to come sit next to Big Sammy.
And Force, you could mount a very strong case for this man being the preeminent ruckman in the competition.
It's extraordinary, and I want to know, where did you learn this? Was it innate? Was it in you?
Innate.
You're an alternate person, Max. I've got to say that just looking at you from here. Which is nothing wrong with that, incidentally. It's good to be unique.
No, I like being different.
Yeah, no, well, you've covered that in spades. So, where did you learn the craft?
About 2 years ago, I was coming up to a Geelong game, and someone said, the way you play Simmons Stadium is to have a look at some old footage of Sammy Newman go about. So,
mate, please.
True.
No, that's...
This is true, Foss.
That's
Let
true.
him go. Let him go.
no, it's completely made up.
No, but mate, you've taken it by the throat. You must. It doesn't. This is the top sporting competition in Australia. You don't just wander in and be good at what you are, what you're doing, unless you've studied it or learnt it or somehow perfected it.
It's taken me a long time. This is my 7th season, Sammy, and probably my first pre-season over those 7 seasons. So it's taken me a long time to finally get some footy on the park, and I'm learning off Mark Jamar for 4 or 5 years, who was probably at the best of the game in around 2010 as well.
Max, you did have a bit of a slow start to your career. You had 26 games the first 4 years of your footy. You've had 2 recos, which I actually wasn't aware of before tonight. You've had 5 operations. So, and you put it out there that you wanted to be one of the best ruckmen in the competition, and as soon as you said it, it pretty much happened.
It's funny that you're not aware of the 2 recos. I mention it every time I get to speak. So, yeah, 7 operations in total on my right knee. So,
Really?
for the first 4 or 5 years was very long and hard. And I had a great chance to study on the best rucks of the game. And lucky enough to verse some of them now. I versed Goldstein earlier on the year, and I got a good one coming up this week.
So, Maxie, we just have a look at this too, because we saw this a couple of weeks ago and absolutely loved it. The bounce probably wasn't ideal from the umpire, but it's what happened next. You need to listen.
What do you have to do that for? Matty Nichols there saying to Gorney, why'd you have to do that for, big fella?
Flat.
What happened after that, please?
I actually forgot I was mic'd up for that, so I wish I'd come up with something funny, because it might have gone viral. But No, Matty Nichols actually is one of the better bouncers in the game, so I just sort of let him know that was a little bit screw with, and he got the next few better.
Hey, tell us about the beard, because you had it.
I get that right?
Nah.
No, skew with.
Skew with. You nearly got it right.
I like it. That's
a new word.
That's the other way to do
Screw
it.
it.
Max's alternate.
The beard, mate, you had it, and then it went, and now I think by popular demand you've grown it back.
I don't think I can get rid of it for now. I had it, and I started playing some good footy, so it sort of stayed for a little bit. A lot been different, and definitely helped walking down Brunswick Street, Sammy, for the couple of free coffees when I walked down there.
Max, I had a friend who had a big beard like that, and it was a big routine, like all morning. It took 45 minutes to prepare. There was this beard oil and everything. I didn't know about that. Do you do the full routine, the oil to make sure it's soft and nice? And no?
No.
Maxie,
Wish I could say yes, but no.
fair to say you do see yourself as a model.
Yep.
You do, and you've done a bit of modelling, of course, with Jack Watts and his squash here, his boxing. Have a look at Maxie on the boat here.
That's it.
With the girls. Look at him there. Oh, Maxie, boy. Wolf of Wall Street.
Like I said, I had a good pre-season, so someone else stole my buttons there, though.
Now, Max, you were before you got into this seriously. I'm told you were working at Domino's, selling pizzas, selling one pizza and eating another, eating every other pizza. Is this correct?
I hope Domino's isn't listening, but I did eat a few free pizzas over the time at Domino's.
No, I'm sure they'll be very happy you've mentioned it. They won't give a stuff how many you've eaten because you've just mentioned it.
But yeah, so pretty much what every young boy does from 14, 9 months, you go get yourself a job, and I stayed there for 4 years and ate every pizza I could.
And your relationship with Paul Roos?
Very good. Roosie sort of, it matches when I've started playing some good footy and when I've been in the team. Roosie was senior coach, so he brings a wealth of experience from Sydney, like we all know, and it's been good.
He still thinks he's got it. Have a look at this here. Very smug. Look at him here. You watch him. Oh, how good was that? Come on, Roosie.
It's the first time he's handballed him.
Look at that. Look at him. Oh, look at me. Look at me.
Hey, let's have a look at the game you're about to play in, Maxie. This one's going to be a beauty too. Melbourne take on Adelaide. MCG on Sunday. The Demons coming off the bye, of course. Might have come at a good time for the Demons. Hogan's a star. And the big man sitting on the panel here is giving the on-ballers force silver service. And some of them are having their best years, including Nate Jones. And, of course, Bernie Vince is getting stuck into all of that as well. And Javoni, as we move on to the Adelaide Crows, too good for the Kangas last time out. They travel over here to the MCG. Don't get to play there too often. The big Texan in very nice touch. Almost no one they can't pick from their best side, Adelaide, so they are in fine fettle. Bill, what do you think's happening here?
Actually, I like Adelaide. They're playing some really, really good football. And Sam Jacobs has been in great form, so I think he'll get them over the line.
Yeah, I agree, Bill. I think their offence is unbelievable and it's very hard to stop. So in that case, I'll say Adelaide. Sorry,
Another one of Maxie's teammates, Jack Viney's having a very good year, and I think Maxie can take a fair bit of credit for putting it down his throat. I think at the MCG, the D's will go over the line.
I know how good a mate Jack Trengove is of yours, and what a great story that is. With everything he's had to go through, and he's been to hell and back, really, with his health, to be back playing as a high draft pick and playing now as well as he is fantastic.
Yeah, it's great news for the club. 3 weeks ago, he got selected to play again for Melbourne, and it was 2.5 years between games, which is a long time to be out of the game, and he had a lot of setbacks along the way, and just the kind of guy he is. I said this before, but he had 150-odd texts before the game and 200 texts after the game. He replied to every single one of them. So that's the kind of guy Jack is, and we've seen it almost looks like he hasn't missed a beat. He's back in it and playing some good footy.
It's great. Force, who's going to win
Just
this
on
game?
a personal note, Max, you're tracking square with man, woman or beast at the minute?
Tracking square, I believe, means do I have a girlfriend?
Or a boyfriend in this day and age? We're gender neutral here, mate. Got a partner is the word. Yeah.
Yes, I do have a lovely girlfriend.
Lovely girlfriend, yeah. And have you become sort of the intrigue of the jet set just since you've taken on this pop star mantle?
I still don't know what that means.
Well, anyhow, I think the pop star mantle and the fact that you're in stellar form might get them over the line against Adelaide.
I think this will be a tight one, but I think Adelaide will
Adelaide, do you bet,
too
darling?
good. Too good.
Yeah, I'm just interested. You refer to yourself as suckers, and who wants a suckers at training? Can you elaborate on that? Ooh.
Yeah, I can. Matt Suckling, probably one of the best kicks in the competition. And at training, not so much at a game, I get to kick. Yep. So I tend to go around the corner and I lace them out, actually, Armo. So
yeah, nice, Maxie.
I ask people if anyone wants a suckers and I'll put it down their chest.
Maxie, am I right in saying that there are a few boys dragging a bit of attention away from you? I talk about Christian Petrarca and Jesse Hogan, you know, some of the real pretty boys sort of acts down there. Are you filthy a little bit that they get a bit more attention than you do?
We got some great young players that love the limelight. Christian Petrarca, once he starts playing a few more games, I don't think you'd be able to keep him off the TV. So Jack Viney, Angus Brayshaw, James Harms, Chompers, he goes all right as well.
Maxie, what's your link to New Zealand? I did not control that.
That's very good.
That's not the link. Might have been my old man's, but not mine. So my two brothers and mum and dad and everyone else with my blood's born in New Zealand, but me.
Okay,
yes.
But you really do love New Zealand because, have a look at this.
That's very good.
Do you know all the words to the answer?
I know God of Nations it starts with and it finishes with Defend New Zealand.
Okay, I believe you, I don't know.
You can't do the harker, can you?
No. If I say yes, I feel like I'm going to have to do it.
Another time.
That's not the only anthem we've seen slaughtered. We put our man to the test a while back in Adelaide, and this is what he came up with.
With golden soil, wealth for toil, our home is girt by sea. Our what is it dividing of beauty rich and rare.
Hey, Maxie, before we say goodbye to you, a big part of the Ruckman's armoury is, of course, clearing the way for his midfielders around stoppages and things. So when you see Stevie or Armour, what do you tend to find they're like around?
Yeah, I've played a couple of times against the boys. I don't think I've done anything bad yet at the moment. Mumford's actually, Stevie's ruckman's probably the best at it, at clearing, and he clears up the ruckman as well, so.
I think I was involved in the game where Maxie actually had his breakout game. It was down at Geelong where he single-handedly tore us apart, and from then on he hasn't looked back, so unfortunately I was on the other end, but well done on what you've done since then.
Maxie, you've been... The feeling at the club is obviously really great. Are you worried about the transition with Paul Roos leaving at the end of the year? Or do you wish he could stay?
I think Paul's got his mind set and been in Hawaii for the next few years, and he said if there's a team up there, he might coach them. So, Goody's been amazing since he's been at the club, and the transition's been super at the moment. You can almost not tell at the club that something's about to happen like as big as that. So, Goody had the NAB challenge where we were 3-0, and he puts his name to all three of those wins as well. So. The transition's moving smoothly, and hopefully we don't notice it.
Now, Max, are you an educated man? What did you do? What was your vocation before you started playing football? You in?
I'm not that educated.
You sound very educated. Sound very articulate.
A barista? You're going to be a barista?
Yeah, that doesn't really correlate with education, though.
Well, you've got to be half smart to make a good coffee, and you're going to open up your own coffee shop.
Yep.
Yeah, give it a plug.
Yeah, well, I don't have it yet, but next time I'm on, hopefully I'll plug it.
Hey, Beck, before you think Maxie and he is a star, and don't ever go changing. He's one of the all-time greats. We should just mention it is a year since the passing of Phil Walsh. So to everyone at the Adelaide Football Club, and in fact in Adelaide and around the great sport of AFL, we respect what happened a year ago and wish everyone the best over there. Absolutely. Max, you've been absolutely sensational tonight. You're in this seat tonight, but you're going to be over in that seat very shortly on the panel. So thank you very much for coming in tonight. It was a real joy getting to know you a little bit better.
slumber party at the house of Kay and Dot is no party at all.
I need to point out that the ladies aren't here. If we'd even remotely kicked straight, I wouldn't be here. And I don't care how many times I say it, all right?
It's been rolling around the back of the postie van for the past week, but Sam's mailbag has finally been delivered. Direct from a footy ground near you, a star will be born in Almost Footy Legends. And the segment that keeps coming at you like a runaway train, What the Foss. After that, as Rexy says, it's yibbida yibbida. That's all, folks. Are we keeping you up, Rossi? Stay with us.
Welcome back to the Footy Show. Thanks to Nissan, of course. Home Timber and Hardware, go where the tradies go. And sportsbet.com.au. Download the mobile app today.
Great crowd tonight. It says in my rundown here that it's time for Sam's mailbag, but Sam, well, he's gone AWOL, so
Yes.
I don't know what to do here. I think I might just throw to it anyway and hope for the best. It's now time for Sam's mailbag. I knew we wouldn't miss this segment.
What are you doing, please?
These are the mayoral robes. Yeah. Incidentally, if Robert Doyle's watching, who is the mayor, mate, you're doing a great job, and this is not a thrust against you or anything. You're a fantastic bloke and doing a great job. But I just had a fitting for these. I'm going to just wear them as formal gear. I'm not interested if I'm the mayor or not. I just think it's just a good outfit.
Righto.
This is from Bram. Bram, B-R-A-M, of Moonee Valley. Newman. It's futile. It's futile you running for mayor. No, this is futile.
Yes.
I presume he thought it might have been just a young turtle.
That's it. Didn't quite
Beck.
know what was going on.
Probably not.
It was a croc.
A croc.
A
well done,
turtle
Bill.
on a croc.
Yeah. I'd like someone to take a poll to see how you would actually fare. Robert Doyle would whip your butt. Well, according to the Herald Sun, not quite right, Bram, you stupid man.
Look at those numbers.
Yep.
What is it?
If I could just say again, Robert Doyle's doing a great job. Oh, this is no slight against him at all. Please stand for mayor, just so I can see you humiliated like the English soccer team. Well, now, speaking of the Euro, that was extraordinary when Iceland beat England. Something I noticed, this was extraordinary, I noticed from the commentator. This could have been his wife.
No, no. I know this is your segment, but on a remotely half-serious note, how can England, who have got 70 million people and that's their national game, be so hopeless?
One of the all-time amazing sporting feats ever.
It doesn't matter whether it's the World Cup or Euro, they are hopeless.
Someone said they have more active volcanoes in a year than they do people living on Iceland.
Really?
They did say that.
That's unbelievable.
That's a fact. One
Anyway.
of your fat facts.
Fat facts.
It is one of your facts.
Michael of Bordertown. That's where Bob Hawke was born, in Bordertown.
Sounds like he died.
That sounds like you in the morning.
Sam, do you ever go to Sydney? Well, as if I'd ever go to Sydney. When I want to feel superior, I go to Sydney. My mate Andy and his new wife Wilma, are currently up there on their honeymoon. Wilma wanted to go on a romantic bridge. This is true. Well, I presume it's true. Wilma wanted to go on a romantic bridge walk and Opera House tour. All Andy wanted to do was visit the Channel 7 studios in Martin Place and hold up a sign of his favourite thing in life. Here it is. This is what he held up behind. It's what the Foss posted. there were signs on my honeymoon that a bloke held up.
Moons.
In fact, I held him up. It
Did
said,
you?
what an error I've made. No, in deference to the 3 people I married, they're wonderful people. Oh, yeah. Wonderful people.
All of them.
Andy and Wilma, since you won't now, Andy and Lucy, they love fligging out and charging at Wilma with it. Well, he's on his honeymoon, and nearest correct entry wins. This is for you because you won't be watching later.
Georgie?
Where's Georgie?
Stand up, please, stand up.
Stand up, Georgie.
Georgie has a date question for you, Sam. She wants to know where are we going and what are we eating?
Saying no, but where are we going?
The girls are in.
Question?
So the girls would like to go on a date and she wants to know where are we going and what are we eating?
But if
You're going to my place and me.
Normally on later at night, that segment.
Jesus. From Donny. From Donny of Oak Park. John, like everyone else, I heard you want to be Lord Mayor. Look, if you're watching, Robert Doyle is a fantastic doing it. He'll think I'm serious. Lord Mayor, give me a break. You actually got any promises or just wind? Well, Jesus, I'll show you some promises. These are some promises.
Oh, you've got them prepared.
Yeah. This, I say. Buskers wishing to... This will be one of my first edicts,
Your
Spec.
platforms.
Platforms, one of me planks of me platform.
Yes.
Buskers wishing to receive a permit must first spend a year watching other buskers just to experience how nauseatingly untalented those mind-numbing numbskulls are. That'll be the first thing. I promise to redesign the Balti Bridge to resemble a giant H. You won't have to pay a toll to get over the bridge, but you'll have to pronounce the letter correctly in order to get over the bridge. Not H, H. People who take too long calling their son Jackson with an X, or Breeze. Or Breeze. I was speaking, you won't believe this, I should bring him out. There's a lad out there called Jason. He's one of the floor managers. He said, you won't believe it, my daughter's name's Breeze, and my son is called Rainbow with an X.
No.
B-A-E-U-X. Jason? Jesus H. Christ. We didn't know about any of that, but just so happens you've got the trifecta there.
Yes.
Yeah. Well done, Jason. Thank you very much.
Very good.
And quickly, just quickly, yapping dog-free zones, screaming kid-free zones, graffiti, tattoo-free zones, and zones where it's mandatory to use a mobile phone so you don't have to speak shit to the people sitting next to you.
All right. Do you want to be a part of this segment? This is how you do it. Just very much live. 9now.com.au/AFL Footy Show. Who in the audience is like Sam as the Lord Mayor? Landslide. You're in a landslide.
Can I say Robert Doyle is doing a great job. Bobby, if you're listening, Bobby Doyle, you're a fantastic man. You're doing a great job.
I think he realises that we're going to take a break. Lots more still to come, but Legends is up next.
Welcome back to the Footy Show. Time now for Almost Footy Legends. And we've got a couple of good ones here, Chompers. Have a look at this. Palm Beach versus Labrador. Have a look at this hang time here. This is a mark. Jared Douglas, look at that, from Palm Beach, goes bang. That is a good grab.
Very good. Second up, Bill, we've got Glenelg versus Port Adelaide Magpies and Terry Malera, the ex-Saint.
Oh.
Maybe he should get picked up again. Goals like that, absolutely beautiful.
Stevie J like that. You do that stuff every day.
Oh, thanks, Bill.
That's what you want to say. And have a look at this one. We love this one. Sunbury versus Diggers Rest. Now have a look. It's going to be a shot on goal. What's the goal umpire? He doesn't move a lot. Watch, bang! But he very courageously gives the goal. Have a look at it again.
Someone yelled out, how big is it?
But how good was he? He could still give the goal. That is fantastic. I think, what did you like, Stephen?
I like number 3.
Right, number 1. Number 2. Number 3. Oh, we all like the old hit in the nuts, don't we? Renee Jeffries from Sunbury, congratulations, you've won this.
Thanks to Sportsbet, our weekly winner takes home $1,000 cash, while our runners-up get $500 each. Get involved this AFL season and make it a multi with Sportsbet. Thanks to Home Timber and Hardware, our major winner receives $5,000 in gift cards and a toolbox full of $45,000 in cold hard cash. That's a $50,000 prize. How's that to help you go hard towards the renovation you've always wanted? So to put the hard back into hardware, go where the tradies go. Home Timber and Hardware.
The best prizes in football, don't worry about that. Send your video to GPO Box 9, Melbourne, Victoria 3001 or 9now.com, AFL/AFL Footy Show. Hey, best prizes there, Jimmy boy. Send in your videos.
Well, you've all got your iPhones and stuff, so any time you're at the footy, be very aware that you could win plenty. Now, speaking of almost football legends, this is a young man who may end up being a football legend. Bill's too humble to mention it himself, and I don't say that sentence very often. But his eldest son, Oscar, is the co-captain of Vic Country in the upcoming Under-16 Championships. Have a look at this bit of vision here. There is Oski. We're going to get to him in just a sec. Have a look at this. In he comes. Bang! Just unloads that tackle over the boundary line. He obviously didn't learn that from his old man.
Look at this.
Look at the heat here.
Oh, too high, Jim.
A very, very good young up-and-coming footballer, of course, and potentially another father-son for the Geelong Footy Club. He's here with us.
Hi, Oski.
Oski, welcome to you. As I just said, you clearly didn't learn that tackling intensity from your dad.
No, Jim, didn't learn that from him. Unfortunately, he didn't teach me how to tackle or chase. I think I might have learned that from you, Stevie.
Oh, Stevie, you saw this young man grow up.
Yeah, I used to go along and watch him most Friday nights down at Geelong Amateurs, and he was a little bit smaller and played on the outside back then, but he's shot up, and maybe he's a future father-son for the Cats.
That would be absolutely superb. Well done, Oski. Good luck with everything coming up, including the Gold Coast.
Thanks, Jim.
You're up there this week, yeah?
He's got to kick 441 goals yet, Jimmy boy.
Bill.
Long way ahead there.
Let's hope after he finishes his glorious career at Geelong, he doesn't hang around like a bad smell for the next 20 years. Just getting football signed and jumpers.
Jumpers signed. I've got a sporty coming up. I've got to get a couple of jumpers signed, actually.
And Stevie, do you remember when you were at that age and just a little bit older, you got drafted? We've got some nice pictures of you when you're youth.
There's a big
A little bit more
when
hair
are the nice ones coming, Beth?
No, that is the nice one. It's a nice one. What are you doing there?
I got told what to do and I did it.
Looking up to the heavens.
Already.
Who's that?
Yeah, see, that's where I had my ear. I had to wear that head guard because of my plastic surgery on my ear.
And what about that hair out the back?
It's called a helmet.
It was a mullet. It was beautiful.
Lovely, lovely.
Queensland bogan.
And Steve, I want to ask you a little update on Archie Boy, your son.
He gets plenty of airtime, Archie.
He does.
Yeah, he's 4 years old and he plays in the Oz Kick up in Sydney in Drummoyne, so they start him early up there. He actually was lucky enough to play at half-time on the weekend of our game between the Giants and Carlton, so he had fun.
Love it.
How many did he kick?
Just the 3, Bill.
How many go to Oz Kick up there in Drummoyne?
You'd be surprised. There's
probably
actually
would be.
a full oval at Drummoyne. It's a football suburb and it's growing more and more, they tell me, so it's very good.
Hey, in all seriousness, good luck to all the kids, Bill, that are playing in the Under-16s Carnival, and well done to Vic Metro, who I think today won the Under-18 Carnival.
Yep, exactly.
So they had a good time. But I reckon whether it's footy or cricket or any other game, when you play underage representative sport, it is as good a time as you have in your career.
It is, and it's fair income. They teach them all the right things, what to eat, and the rehab and the warm downs. Fair income, Jim. What happened to a couple of these and sausage and bread? The game's changed, my friend. Let's have a look at this one. Port Adelaide versus Richmond. At Adelaide Oval, Friday night. Big game for the Richmond Footy Club. This one, Port Adelaide there. They've lost their last 3 of the last 4 at Adelaide Oval. Take a note of that, Foss. That is interesting. They had the bye last week, and there's the squad there. Take on the Tigers, who need a win. They need to win this. And they won last week, of course. And they've won their 3 of the last 5 against Power. So they're going right against Power. Let all that power at Adelaide Oval should win this one, David.
Yeah, I think Dusty is having an exceptional year. Dusty
yes.
Martin.
Win the brown one?
Yeah, I think he can. If he keeps getting pole in the threes, he will.
Of course he will, Jim.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Will he beat Paddy?
Pythagoras, fair dinkum.
Pythagoras.
Will he beat Danger? If he keeps getting threes, he'll win the medal.
Yeah, well, that's what you asked
Sure,
me.
what Pythagoras was his theorem.
Yeah, but I think the song, Port Adelaide song, will get him over the line at the start of the game.
How's it?
Whoever loses this game is going to be very tough for them to get back in finals contention. Port Adelaide coming off 2 losses, but they've had a 13-day break, so I think they'll be fresh and they'll win at home.
Is that Nostradamus you were searching for there, Bill, or are you happy with Pythagoras?
Well, someone mathematical. Give me a god. A mathematical god, or someone that's...
Mathematical god?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
Einstein.
Einstein. That'll do. That's what I was looking for.
No wonder you didn't know that name.
Just a tip.
Coming off 2 losses, Adelaide, I think they've got used to...
Port Adelaide.
Port Adelaide. I think they got used to losing, Jim, and I think I saw Dustin Martin. I get on very well with Dustin Martin. I meet him at... I don't meet him, but I frequent a coffee shop he goes to. I can't mention his name, Jerry's. And he's in very good form, and I think the Tigers might beat... Have they allowed anyone to come on your station yet, Jim, or is that ban just extended?
Not sure. It could well have extended.
Not sure.
Not sure.
Not sure, Jim.
Not sure.
Yeah.
No.
Well, let's hope they don't win, because you won't have to go down to the rooms and ask to speak to someone.
No. Look, I'm going to tip Port Adelaide, and I have something nice to say. Trent and Brooke Cochin, Brooke gave birth to another little girl, so Mackenzie.
Well
new addition to the Cochin family. So I'm sure they're watching at home tonight with a brand new baby.
In Friday night's game, by the way, courtesy of our wonderful friends at Sportsbet, the Tigers place a bet on the big win, little win market with Sportsbet. If your bet loses but your team still wins, you get cash back up to $50, for example. If you have a bet on the Power to win by 1 to 39, but they come out and belt the Tigers by 10 goals, you get your cash back. That's the cold, hard folding stuff straight into your account. To get involved, download the app today, and please always, Bill, remember to gamble responsibly.
Exactly right. Now, Razor Ray, we all love the umpires, but they should just umpire Foss. You'll be interested in this. Have a look at Razor Ray trying to be old best mates with Simon Lloyd here. Give us a drink, Lordo. Oh, good one, Lordo. What about that one, boy? Hey, mate. Hey, buddy. Come on, Razor. Look at him, old mate. Yeah, old champ. That was a great goal. Well done, Lordy. Mate.
Very, very.
Come on, Razor Ray. Do you like Razor Ray? Do you like the No, you probably can't answer that.
No. Love him. We love him.
Yeah, love the umpires.
Razor Ray?
I like Razor Ray.
You say good day to him?
Yeah, I've seen him down at the local coffee shop a few times and said g'day.
No, on the field?
Oh, on the field? Yeah, I don't talk to him on the field. Right. No.
Stephen, you would, old chompers.
I thought he was a little leaguer when I seen him. I left him on the ground.
That'll get your votes.
Yep. Well, after the break is a segment that I've personally been looking forward to all night. For those who can't remember, Jim had a very interesting night last night. He spent the night with Kay and Dot. Now, this was
Tuesday
part of the... It was Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday. It's Wednesday tonight, Jim. How you going?
Leave it to Beck, Jim. Shut up.
So, if you don't know what this is all about, this is the challenge that Jim lost to Crawf if the North boys went down to Hawks, which they did a few weeks ago, so he had to fulfil the challenge. And the challenge
Monday night.
was...
I'm trying to work out which night it is. Monday night,
well,
Tuesday
don't worry
morning,
about it.
Anyway, one night this week you spent, and we have it on tape, so all the highlights of Jim in his gym jams are coming up after the break.
Jimmy!
Stick around.
The Footy Show, brought to you by Sportsbet's new multi-builder. The easiest way to put on a multi. Download the Sportsbet app today.
So join in the chorus and sing it one and all.
Where is this joint?
Join in the chorus, North Melbourne's on the ball.
Chelsea. Where is Chelsea?
What do you think of James? Well, I'd have to say he's a fine person who really keeps North to the forefront.
Dot, where's your joint?
North Melbourne will be premiers, just you wait and see. Oi!
Do you think that might be James?
Well, it could be. Come on, Doc. Steady on there.
We're coming.
Hey! Have a look at you two. Bloody hell.
How are you?
How are you all?
Welcome to see you.
Girls, is any danger of you living remotely near civilization?
Nice to be down by the sea. Will we come and show you where your accommodation is?
Yeah, I best you should.
Okay, just follow us. And here we are. But there's a few rules around here.
Righto, what are they?
One of them is the swear jar.
Yeah, well, I would never swear in front of beautiful ladies.
And we all have our turn at the chores.
What do you mean?
And I think it's about time too that we might get into our PJs. I know, you're looking forward to that.
It's only 5 o'clock.
We go to bed very early here.
I haven't worn PJs since I went to primary school.
Oh, tonight's the night.
Is it?
Yeah, the PJ.
Yeah, you can. It's going to be a long night, this one.
Yeah.
No, you
Oh, look at you. What? Very spiffy.
Woo! Getting back to the business now, remember about the chores.
Mm-hmm.
You tell him, Kay.
We've got to ask you to take some rubbish out.
Where is it?
Oh, fantastic.
Have some of that, Dot. Hey! I'm going to fake the tank.
Come on, Dot. I'm jealous. Let's go.
Okay, get another chance. And James, it's really not so bad coming down here, with us, is it?
Oh, well, it's not great, Dot.
So you're not going to take Queenie?
Dot, you can't just make it.
James, would you like to go home?
Yes, a lot. Don't filthy up just because I've pointed out that you're playing a game totally separate to the rules of the game.
I just feel you're being unfair.
Well, what's yell?
Oh, is that not right either?
No.
You're right. I think we'll have dinner with James,
Yeah,
okay?
I do too. Dot's throwing every toy out of the cot. isn't
About
she?
time
How
you
do you
fed
feel
me.
later?
Petulant behaviour from
Do
you,
you feel
Dot.
comfortable?
She's just poked her tongue
No,
out
not
at me.
nice. James, before we start dinner, we always say grace. And can we hold hands? And Dot, would you say some grace, please?
Thank you for our wonderful food we're about to eat. Thank you, James, for coming down and being our wonderful CEO.
Very, very proud of you and North Melbourne.
Thank you, Kay.
And can I say thank you for one other thing?
You probably said enough, I reckon, Dot. Can I say something?
No.
Thank you for pushing the boat right out with this amazing food. There's some sort of
Looks beautiful.
4 or 5 day old chicken, chopped up tomato and some rice. Just what you normally serve at the table here.
Barley. It's got legs.
It's got legs.
You know, we cook the occasional sausage.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Oh, James, would you like us to read you just a little bit of the Thornbirds? It might help you to go to sleep.
No, I want you to do that.
Grieve deeply, but no.
Serious, can you stop talking?
Rock-a-bye, Jim, in the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock.
Good night, Jim.
Sleep tight, Jim. Turn the light out, Kay.
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, 5 o'clock. F me.
Up, James. Don't worry about dressing down, you won't need it. Da, 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 da. Come and sit down, James. Sit near me. We never thought we'd be sitting together in our jammies. Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed.
I had a little drink about an hour ago and I went right through my head.
No, you're wrong.
I can't be wrong.
Don't argue with me. You will always hear me singing
Singing this song. Show me the way to go home.
Woo!
Well done, Jim.
They are two of the nicest ladies you will ever meet, and not only was it Dot and Kay, but every member of their extended family and the whole district wandered through the joint during the course of the evening. It was quite amazing, but thank you. They were wonderful hosts, and I loved it.
Did you get to keep your Jim Jams?
No.
No.
No, they wanted them.
We should make that an annual event, I reckon. Yes.
Framed them up. They're in their lounge room. Your jams.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, let's turn our attention to some footy because we've got an interesting clash on Metricon. On Saturday afternoon, it is the Gold Coast Suns up against the Sainers. The Gold Coast Suns on the weekend. Gary Ablett, great to see him back to some really good form on the weekends. The Suns, they weren't bad against the Hawks. The Suns going down by 26 points. Oh, the Sainers, weren't they unbelievable against the Cats last week? They're intense, they're powerful, they're playing some really, really great footy. Stevie, how do you reckon this one will go between Gold Coast and the Sainers?
Well, the Saints have the better form line, but this is a milestone game, Sam. Trent McKenzie is playing his 100th game, and I think that will inspire the Suns to get over the top.
Willis?
Look, they are getting better, no doubt about that, the Gold Coast, and at Metricon they're a chance, but I think with this man playing really good football, and I love the way you've been tackling lately, Dave. Have a look at this. Look at what are you doing here with Bernie Vince? What is going on there, Armour?
I just wanted to have a look at his buns and show it to the crowd.
Saints just, Tony, just.
Hopawate style business.
Hopawate, yeah, I don't think there was any insertion there.
No,
was there?
Not quite.
Well, this is the side, St Kilda, that beat Geelong. I'll be nice and ticked off if they don't beat the Gold Coast Suns, having just beaten Geelong down here.
Yeah, the Sainers, they were absolutely sensational. They were so hard and powerful on the weekend, but yeah, I reckon the Saints too.
Yep, the Saints now. I want to ask you about Gary Ablett in a minute, Jono, so I'll put you on notice there. But have a look at this. Sam Mitchell gives away a free kick here. It was a soft free kick to Ablett. And have a look what Sammy says to the umpire. Very interesting. You've got to read the lips. Oh, Gary Ablett. There he goes. Look, oh, just because it's Gary Ablett.
That's good, yeah.
Now, there are some rumours swooping around that Gary Ablett might end up back at the Cats. Oh. Have you heard that? And what are your thoughts?
Well, that's the first time I've heard it.
No, it's not.
No, well, he'd have to play for a free toastie down at the Roadhouse in Geelong for him to fit him in.
Yes, that's, yeah.
But,
could he go back to the Cats?
Imagine that.
You know him, you're very close.
While I was there, I was always hoping that one day he might come back because I think he's sitting pretty close to 200 games and I think it'd be a nice touch for him to finish his career at Geelong, but he's gone up there and I'd be surprised if now that he's, you know, made his mark up there, he'd come back.
All right, we need to get to a break. What the Foss, not far away. Plenty more on the Footy Show, so don't go. Next week on a massive edition of the Footy Show, Wednesday, 8:30, the champ from St Kilda, Nick Revolt, and Dane Swan also on the panel. Swanee will be tweeting live throughout the show. So as always, a big panel. Next Wednesday night, 8:30, the Mighty Footy Show returns with the biggest names, as always, in football. Next game, big boy?
Yes, so thank you, Jim. I'm just talking to myself. West Coast take on Essendon at Domain Stadium. This is tomorrow night, don't worry about that. And they're going along okay, West Coast. They're back at home. They've won 11 of the last 12 over there, of course, and play some good footy. There's the ins there, Lysette, the Ruckman's back. And take on the mighty Bombers. Here they are, the Bombers. D comes in, Ambrose is out with the back. And this could get very, very ugly. This could be 100-point. Interesting to see in the Essendon box, John Worsfold, Guy McKenna sitting in that box. Yep. Of course, legends of the West Coast Eagles. Could get ugly. This could be 100 points.
Armour?
Well, I don't know, Bill.
West Coast way.
They got two. Essendon have two milestone games here. James Gwilt, my good friend, won 50 games. Congratulations, Gwilty. And Jackson Merritt, 50 games.
Yes.
You never know. Sam?
Oh, what are you saying?
Yeah, I know.
But I think West Coast will be too strong.
So, yeah, no, I've really enjoyed seeing the way Essendon's played with a lot of spirit this year, but I am a little bit concerned for what West Coast might be capable of this weekend. So the Eagles for me.
Samuel?
I don't. It matters not one jot what Essendon do, whether they score or not. It's not their fault. It doesn't matter. But just put this in perspective. I love to do this every time. The Olympics are coming up in a month. The Russians, I think, are still in the Olympics. They're still pending a decision. They have sacked, did you know this? They've sacked the anti-doping test centre because the AWADA can't rely on the doping centre to conform to international standards. That is, they're not even testing people for taking drugs over there, and yet in the next room over in Switzerland, Essendon are still waiting to decide what happens to them. It is a disgrace. And if I was Essendon, I wouldn't even get in the plane and go over.
No, they will.
I wouldn't get in the plane and go over.
Yes, West Coast for me.
Now, the Mars matchups, we've been showing you these all year. Jump online to get involved. Most kicks will involve Andrew Gaff's a very good player, and Zach Merritt. 50th game and a really good up-and-coming star. Most disposals, Robbie Gray, Dustin Martin. Most tackles, Tom Mitchell, Tom Limatore. And most goals, the big Texan up against Jesse Hogan, and they are two superstar big forwards. Head to marsmatchups.com.au for your chance to win some great prizes. Sam?
Now, we've had news about Ben Cousins again, that he's taken another turn for the worse.
Yep.
This is not apocryphal. I think this is a fact.
Yep.
And we all agreed a couple of weeks ago, we said it's just one of the all-time international tragedies, what's happening to this lad. And I would say we'd be all very fearful of where this will end. And you know what that means? And our hearts go out to his dad, Brian, who I played with, and his mother, Stephanie. And here's something out of left field. I don't know where or what anyone can do, but I met probably one of Australia's greatest sports people at the Australian Open here, called Margaret Court. Margaret Smith it was. You don't realise how big her record is. Now wait for this, all you secular people who don't believe in this. She runs a religious body over there. She has a church, and I tell you what, if someone could save Ben Cousins, I tell you what, I'd put my faith in Margaret Court. And I don't know how you'd get them together, but she is an absolute star. And she has a tremendous following over there and would speak logically to him, and you never know, that could be finally the most obscure reason or way that he might finally find some solace in his own life.
It is a very, very sad story, the Ben Cousins story, and we wish his family all the best. They are once again going through a very difficult time. We're going to take a little break here on the Footy Show. A great segment is coming after. After that, though, What the Fuss? Stick around. Again on Wednesday at 8:30. Next week, Wednesday, 8:30, we have some superstars for you. We have Nick Revolt on the panel and Dane Swan as well. Will be live tweeting throughout the show. And just quickly, before we get to the next segment, I do want to wish this man a very happy birthday for Monday, Stevie J.
Thank you, man.
31 are you on Monday? 33.
Yeah, it's very old.
Gee, you're getting old, aren't you? All right. Not as old as you, Fossey. It is now time for What the Fuss.
Right, how this works is the questions are written down by the audience. The panellists read them out on behalf of the audience member, and then Sam answers. So who you got there, Steve?
So Sam, this is from Nick Wood. Where's Nick?
Where are you, Nick? Stand up, Nick. Oh, no, there he is.
Now, these are Nick's words. Sam, do you root in socks?
Steve.
Good question, Sam.
Nick, put your hand up if that's what you are.
I don't want to appear that we're back. Honestly, I would like you to be excused when this segment
Do you
comes
want
on.
me
I'm only thinking of your reputation. I'm sure
Are you giving me a
get
pass?
tons of mail. People say, why do you sit here listening to all this nonsense?
What, you don't give a stuff about my reputation or Bill's?
It's a very good point.
Yes.
No, we treat people equally here,
we
so
do?
you stay right there. Do I root in socks? Well, look, this is in long time ago. I have, of course. Mainly because I've never taken my shoes off in the first place. And of course, if I could be completely candid with you, in some instances, I haven't bothered, you know, when time is of the essence, if you know what I mean, I haven't bothered taking my clothes off. I don't know if you're familiar. Did you ever wear underwear? This is a long time ago when it used to have a little flap in it that you could take. You could put the rod out.
That's
you know,
it.
like. I used to just.
Yeah, no. I think we got a good handle on that. Right.
You've got to be very careful pulling it back in and pulling the zip up quickly in case you serrate it.
Good question.
Yep. I have Eddie Rowe.
Where are you, Eddie? Well, stand up.
How are you, Eddie? Why do you wear gloves driving a car, Sam?
What was that?
Not sure.
Just humorous.
Go on.
What is wrong with wearing gloves driving a car? It's weird. Lewis Hamilton does.
Well, you're not a chauffeur.
Will Power does.
You're not a chauffeur. Where's she been all night?
I don't know what's being
I
served
actually
at that
started
table.
wearing gloves. I didn't want to put any fingerprints on anyone that I picked up.
We got a last one, Bill?
Yes.
Yep.
Is that
Tommy,
a foxy joke, Jim?
Yeah, it was a little
Tom
foxy.
R. Where's
Where are you,
Tom?
Tommy?
Tom,
Oh, he's just in front of you.
righto. When are you going to a nursing home, Foss?
I'm going after this. I got a date there.
Oh, no.